What if the scariest muscle car was never meant to exist? Not engineered for balance, not designed for comfort, not even approved by logic. In 1969, Dodge made a decision so aggressive, so reckless, that it still feels unbelievable today. They took a lightweight A-body platform, a car originally built for economy, and shoved one of the biggest engines in America under the hood. This is the 1969 Dodge Dart GTS 440, a factory-built contradiction, a car that broke the rules before rules could stop it, and one of the most misunderstood legends of the muscle car era. How the Dart became dangerous. By the late 1960s, the muscle car war had escalated beyond reason. Every manufacturer was locked in a horsepower arms race. Bigger engines, heavier bodies, more torque, more bravado. Most muscle cars followed the same formula. Big engines went into big cars. The Dart was never part of that plan. Originally introduced as a compact, the Dart was practical, affordable, and light. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't aggressive. But Dodge engineers saw something else. They saw weight advantage. They knew that horsepower didn't need luxury. It needed less mass to push. So in 1968, Dodge did something insane. They installed a 383 big block into the Dart GTS. The car became unbalanced, front-heavy, unrefined, and Dodge loved it. So from 1969, they escalated again. They asked the question no one else dared to ask. What happens if we put a 440 in it? The answer became legend. Keycap 3 engineering without apology. At the heart of the 1969 Dart GTS lived Mopar's most brutal street engine. 440 cubic inches of displacement. Single 4-barrel carburetor. Cast iron block and heads. High compression internals. Torque-biased camshaft profile. Factory rated at 375 horsepower. 480 lb-ft of torque. But anyone who drove one knew the truth. The real output was significantly higher. This engine was designed for full-size Chargers and Coronets, cars with long wheelbases and wide front tracks. The Dart didn't have those things. The result was immediate and violent. Chassis and weight distribution. The Dart weighed approximately 3,200 pounds. With the 440 installed, the front end carried an extreme percentage of that weight. There was no power steering option, no power brakes, no front sway bar. Why? Because the A-body chassis physically couldn't handle the mass without compromising steering geometry. This wasn't a sports car. It was a straight-line weapon. Transmission and driveline. Buyers could choose a 833 4-speed manual, torque flight automatic. The rear axle was equipped with sure grip limited slip differential, aggressive gearing optimized for acceleration. This drivetrain wasn't refined. It was reinforced. Performance, raw and unforgiving. Official test numbers were scarce because the car was notoriously difficult to drive. But period road tests revealed the truth. 0 to 60 miles per hour. Around 5.0 seconds, traction permitting. Quarter mile. Low 13 stock. High 12s with minor tuning. But numbers don't tell the full story. The Dart GTS 440 didn't launch cleanly. It twisted. It wandered. It fought the driver. And that's exactly why it became infamous. Keycap for the driving experience, why it terrified people. The Dart GTS 440 wasn't fast in a friendly way. It didn't ease into power. It didn't build momentum smoothly. The torque hit instantly. At full throttle. The front end lifted. The steering went light. The car demanded correction. There was no electronic safety net. No traction control. No stability management. only driver skill or consequences. Many buyers underestimated it. Some dealers refused to let customers test drive one. This car wasn't meant for casual drivers. It was meant for people who understood physics and accepted risk. Why the Dart GTS 440 matters. The 1969 Dart GTS 440 represents a moment in American history when nothing was filtered. No committees, no lawyers, no compromises. Just engineers asking, how far can we go before someone stops us? And the answer came quickly. The Dart GTS 440 was discontinued after 1969. Why? Because it was too extreme, too difficult to insure, too dangerous for the public. It wasn't replaced. It wasn't refined. It was simply erased. And that's exactly why it matters. Keycap 6 rarity and modern value. Production numbers were extremely low. Only a few hundred Dart GTS 440s were ever built. Many were raced. Many were wrecked. Many were stripped for engines. Survivors today are museum-grade artifacts. Market values: $180,000 to $350,000 plus, depending on originality. Not because the car is perfect, but because it represents something we will never see again. Keycap 7: what the Dart GTS 440 symbolizes. This car isn't about nostalgia. It's about courage. It symbolizes a time when manufacturers trusted drivers. An era where mistakes weren't prevented, only learned from. A philosophy where performance mattered more than reputation. The Dart GTS 440 doesn't apologize. It doesn't explain itself. It simply exists as proof that the muscle era went further than most people remember. The final word. The 1969 Dodge Dart GTS 440 wasn't designed to be loved. It was designed to push limits. If you respect cars that scared insurance companies, challenged physics, and ignored common sense, backhand index pointing right, subscribe. Backhand index pointing right, like this video. Backhand index pointing right, comment. Dart GTS 440 or Super BA12, which would you dare to drive? Because some legends aren't beautiful. They're dangerous.